Hey y'all, Halfmilesniper here, and we are back in the garage today because, well, my Howa 1500 and 6.5 PRC probably looks a little different. So, we'll talk about that in a moment. Y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. Alrighty, y'all. Well, we put 1,000 rounds through the original barrel, and I think there's still life in the barrel, but that Rob's reloading video, when he was running the same bullet, same powder, and like 5.5 grains less than I was, and getting, like 300 feet per second more than I was, pretty much told me that this was an extremely slow barrel. And then my 134 grain hammer bullets, which were running, I got them up to 2950. Actually, I got some that broke 3,000, but the ones I got running 2950 out of this barrel, we tried out of a buddy's 6.5 PRC, and they were running 3150. So yeah, time came to change the barrel. And let me tell you what, I'd heard that the Howa barrels were difficult to change. And I am here to tell you that is no lie. So I actually took the rifle to where I work because we have a gigantic vise, and using a Remington 700 flat bottom action wrench, my barrel vise, the giant vise at work, I could not break the receiver off the barrel. I soaked the barrel, the junction here, in Croil for like 3 days, and still could not break the receiver off the barrel. I ended up taking MAP gas and heating the chamber area right here, this part right here, up to about 300 degrees, measured by my laser thermometer, and then letting that heat soak into the well-oiled receiver. Still could not get it to break loose. I ended up having to put a pipe wrench on this barrel and a 7-foot cheater pipe on the action wrench, and put my work partner on the pipe wrench. And the barrel was still wanting to turn in the barrel vise, even with shims in there and the whole 9 yards. And as I lifted him off the ground, because he had a good bite on the barrel with the pipe wrench, as he lifted off the ground and I pushed on that 7-foot cheater pipe, it finally cracked loose, and it cracked loose with a sound that was as loud as a 22 going off. Once I got the barrel off, the original barrel off, I was able to install the new barrel. And again, as we see, there's a very large difference between the two. This is a number 5 or number 6 profile on the Howa barrel, and the Outlier barrel is 1.5 inches, the whole length of the barrel. Got the barrel set, got the action reinstalled into the chassis. I had to take the rail off to fit the action wrench, so the rail's been reinstalled. Obviously, to get the rail off, I had to take the scope off, and we're going to reinstall the scope right now. We're going to call that good. Lock that down. Had to get a new set of timing shims to time my my Thunder Beast brake, which once I take this gun back out of state, it'll be nice to see how the can blends in with this barrel, because I think my suppressor is just about 1.5 inches in diameter as well. I did set the headspace using 6.5 PRC go and no-go gauges. And yeah, remember when we first got this barrel, we did clean the goop out and take a quick look. Well, I went ahead and I punched the barrel this morning. I don't know if you can see how dirty the patches came out, but I cleaned the barrel. I've got the bore scope. We're going to take a look down the new barrel one more time, all cleaned out. And then we're going to take a look down this barrel. And yes, I did spend time and I did clean this barrel once it was off, so we can see how much the erosion has grown, getting it between the last time we cleaned it and 1,000 rounds here. And we're going to try to take a better look at those weird lines. And then I got to decide what we're going to do about that. So give me a minute to get the bore scope set up, and we'll take a look down the new bore again. Spam calls. We just gotta wait for it to hang up. Okay, where was I? Oh, take a minute to get the bore scope set up. We'll take a look down the brand new bore of the Outlier barrel. And then we're going to take a look down the old bore, see how bad the erosion is, see how the lines look, and all that good stuff. So give me a minute to get the bore scope set up. I'll bring y'all right back. Okay, well, let's get the bolt out of here. And let's get our Teslong NTG 100 scope up and into the bore. Let me get this set. And we are recording. Okay. There is the shoulder. There's the throat, brand new. And the rifling looks nice and crisp and sharp, which I'm really happy about, because somebody got an Outlier barrel, and it really looked like there was some voids in there. And without that goop that they had, the packing goop down the bore, this really looks a whole lot cleaner. I can't wait to start trying to burn this one out. Very nice. And then there we are into the muzzle brake. Very nice. So that's what the new bore looks like. Let me go ahead and put that bolt back in. And I am going to have to weigh the gun, because with the original setup, this rifle weighed in at 14.5 pounds. I think it's at least 2 pounds heavier. We'll see. Okay, so I have the old barrel here in my hand. I'm going to lay right here inside the, on the back side of the gun vise. And we're going to set up to take a look down the old one. Okay. There's the chamber, and we are starting with the throat. Let me get a little more light on the subject here. So we can see 1,000 rounds did. It looks like it started cooking the throat up to about that point, right into the lead. And I scrubbed this bore for probably, I'd say I did three applications of the ISO paste because I wanted to scrub it pretty good. I really want to see what the alligator skin or crocodile bore looked like, but it's not really showing up. This bore's still really dark, but we can see cracking in the rifling this far in. And we can see that the edges of the rifling seem to be rounded over. I'm sure that this bore still had plenty of life in it, but it really ran slow. We should be coming up on one of those weird lines or depressions or whatever it was we've been seeing the whole life. And I want to really see what we've got. Oh, there's one right there. Let me try to dial that light down a little bit. The more I look at this, now that we've worn through the melanite or nitride or whatever the finish is, that really almost looks like a forge line. And there should be a couple more if I'm not mistaken. We're going to look close. There's one right there. It's a little fainter, but you can still see that line. I only saw two today. Interesting. One right there. One maybe there. Kind of see a little bit of a line, but it's not as pronounced. As that one. I want to see if I can get a better still of that. I don't think so. But I'm going to try to get a still photo of that. And we'll see. Maybe I'll see if I can get a machine shop or something to cut a window in that bore. It'd be real interesting to see if that line comes all the way out to the outer edge. Alrighty, y'all. Well, there we have it. Got the new barrel installed on the Howa 1500. Got the old barrel in hand with 1,000 rounds through it. Again, it really was a chore to change the barrel on the Howa Action. Talked to several people and they said if the opportunity ever presents itself again, they do not want to change a barrel on a Howa. I am mentally ready to get this out to the range to see how this barrel shoots. Problem is, I don't think the weather's going to cooperate because starting, I think, tomorrow through Sunday, we're supposed to be getting a bunch of rain. And apparently they got some heavy flooding in Northern California right now. But barrel's been changed. Old barrel's here. We've got to look at both. And as was reiterated to me, I'm going to reiterate to y'all, Howa barrels are a booger to change. But we got it done, and I'm ready to try this Outlier barrel out and see how everything goes. I suspect it's going to run quite a bit faster than the original barrel. So as I'm sitting here editing this video, because of several interruptions while we were filming the video about the new barrel, I completely forgot to measure where my lands were. Previously on the old barrel, our lands were at 2.38 something. And I set our overall length ogive to base at 2.36, I think. And my OAL was running 2.99 inches. So ogive to base was 2.36, base to tip was 2.99. I measured the new chamber, new barrel, and to the lands was 2.35. So our new, that was ogive to base. Our new ogive to base for loading ammo is going to be 2.33. And OAL, for those who don't do ogive to base, is going to be 2.95. So once I got those measurements, I went through to all my dummy rounds that I've made for my loads for the 6.5 PRC, and I shortened them down to 2.33. So we're all set and ready to go and start making ammo for the new barrel. So as I get things all cleaned up and finished up and ready to get this booger out to the range, if you notice, I've got this chassis up here, and we're going to talk about that later because that's going to be the build on my 308 rifle. So until then, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay strapped or get clapped. Carry everywhere you can. It is crazy out there. I've heard it said before, I'll reiterate, no one's coming to protect you. You're on your own. So be ready. Get out to the range, do some shooting, get familiar with your gun if you don't. But enough of that. I want to thank all y'all for hanging with me, as always. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Halfwits, thanks for joining up. If you're so inclined, there's a join button down below the video. It's like $3.99 a month or something like that. Every little bit helps the channel, and I do appreciate it. So, with all that, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time.
Send it.
Hit.